Good evening. So this one here is a good take on AR-15 30 round magazines, excluding that monstrosity here that's such a failure, but I'll get to that on my list. A lot of people are just now compiling like I would say stockpiles of magazines, or they've been compiling magazines for a good long while now, and every time they go to the store or every time they go online, every time they get paid, they try to add some different types of magazines to their repertoire, or they like to continue to stay with either these PMAX or these GI type of mags. So this video is going to be a quick take on different magazines that I have and different ones that I have deemed themselves reliable to me. Each magazine up here is a different brand, except these two. These both are PMAX, Magpul PMAX. But every single other one is of a different brand. And I'll speak to you all about them here. So let's start off with this. Well, you know what? I was going to start off with this Magpul. But here's this Pro Mag 65 round drum that you all have seen in my videos. This one's gonna be a no-go. This one's a no-go for those exact reasons that you've seen in my clips, that it jams and it's a big failure. So if you are looking for magazines to add to your stockpile, do not add that Pro Mag in there. It's gonna be worthless to you. So let's go down and list the other ones. The most common ones usually people try to possess are these PMAX, Magpul PMAX. I do have my magazines loaded. I usually keep my magazines loaded 25 rounds. Just a personal preference. A lot of people load them 30. I don't have a specific reason of why. I just like it at 25. So no, that's why. I have tons of them. That's what I like. Some people like to say they don't want their springs depressed, but what's a magazine if it's not loaded, right? So what's the use of having a whole bunch of magazines to unload it? If something happens, you need to grab one, you'll be SOL. So here's the Magpul PMAG. Everybody knows these things. They run for like $14.99 in stores, like Academy Sports or one of those type of places. You can find them online for probably $10, $12 if you look at the right places. So they're reputable. They're very, excuse me, very reliable. You can drop these, bang these, throw these, do whatever you want with these, run over them, and they'll still work. Some people don't like polymer mags and like the steel mags, but these work. So this is the normal PMAG. Here's another PMAG, but this one has the window in it. This one's also another reliable, reputable type of PMAG. Some magazines you notice that have the windows in them, they somehow fail. I don't mean somehow fail. They do fail for whatever reason. But these PMAG seem to perform well with the windows in them. So these comparable prices the other PMAG I just showed. This one here, this is the $9.99 MFT magazine that you can get from Academy Sports, or you can buy it online. But I got this one from Academy Sports. I have this color and I have the black color one. So I've seen people, well, I actually know a guy who said that these fail for him and he can't load them because the rounds will just fall out. As you see, I load my rounds with, load my magazines with brass rounds. The guy I'm speaking of loads his with steel rounds. So I don't know if the steel casing, the way you loaded 30 rounds in the magazine caused them to fall out. I don't know. I loaded these up completely with 30 rounds, left them in the safe for days and days and days. They performed flawlessly because I went to the range a couple days after that. It ran well. So I don't know what his problem was with the magazines, but they are pretty reliable to me. So every time I get paid, or every time I feel like it, I'll go to Academy Sports, go ahead and give me one of these mags and a couple boxes of ammo. So $9.99 magazines, you can't beat it. You can't beat it at all. So let's see, move that here. What's next? Oh, let me also say this. Like I said, I go to Academy Sports, I'll get these. The PMAGs, Academy Sports. But some of these I'll go to pawn shops, and I've gotten these from pawn shops or gun shows. Those are the places where I found many deals on some of these magazines. $5 here, $4 here, depending on who you know and what you can get. This next one, I wish I would have bought more. I didn't know how reliable they were because I had never heard of SWT. If you can see right here, I believe it's German. I didn't know who that company was, so I was kind of nervous in buying it because you don't know if the mag will be reliable or not. But this one held up fantastic. correctly. Yes, it's polymer, 30 round magazine. Take a look at it. Google it and YouTube it, SWT. If you have any kind of questions about it, you can probably find those answers, but it's reliable. It's held up in a couple of my rifles, so I trust it. Like I said, I have mine loaded, so I can't take the, I don't have it where you can see the followers, but the follower is great. It is very tough in here. The spring is very tight, and there's no, you know, in the GI mags where you press down on one side and it like kind of tilts. There's none of that with this. I have no problems with this magazine. It's a fantastic magazine. Like I said, I got it from a gun show for $5. If I would have known, I would have bought more than just 2 of them. I brought my brother 2 and I got 2 for myself, but he had an entire bin of them. I should have bought the whole bin. So $5 at a gun show, SWT mags. Look them up online. You can find them on the web. Next, this is a Thermode. You see the brand right there. Thermode polymer magazine. You can find these online for $9.99. Again, this one is reliable. This one hasn't failed me yet either. And I like the way it feels. I like these kind of indentions they have in here with this. I kind of helps you grab it, but I don't know. I like the look of it. It looks kind of good. It doesn't look like a waffle mag, like some of those AK, but it looks pretty cool. So this is another polymer mag you can get for what, $9.99. Add to your collection. Now this one here, I have red tape on it. I keep this one empty. This is one of the ones I use in my training, like my dry fire, my rifle, as well as that other one with the red tape. Another reason it's red tape is because it fails. It jams all the time, and I don't use it anymore because obviously it's not reliable. This company is a CACD mag. That's what it is, CACD mag. It has a little window right here with an indicator when you're empty, or when it has red, yellow, and green. Red when you're out, yellow is when it's like, I guess, halfway full, and green when it's almost full, something like that. Haven't shot it in a while because there's no need to. It jams every time I do. I haven't shot it in a bit. So if you run across any of these CACD mags, think twice about them because they may fail on you. Believe it or not, I just Googled it this morning and I've seen them online for prices of $19.99 all the way up to $35. That is wild to me, and it jams. So maybe it can perform flawlessly in your weapons, but I don't know. I won't trust it. I've used it on a couple of my rifles, and it's jammed both times. So it won't be the gun. It's going to be the product here. So think twice, but here's this one. Next is a C Products Defense aluminum red Teflon coated magazine. I like the metal look, and I like the metal feel and the red look. It's my favorite color. I bought this online for $9.99 at CDN Sports when I was ordering some other items. I said, I love the red look. I don't have really many other colored mags, so let me try this out. Performs flawlessly. So this is another one. If you're skimming through CDN or some other websites, you see something similar, this has performed well. I have had no problems with it. Like I said, I keep it loaded. I haven't had any issues when I put in my gun and shoot it. Perfect. Next up, like I said, I use this one as my training magazine as well. There's nothing wrong with this one, but I did buy this one at a gun show. There was a bin of tons of these GI mags, and I went ahead and added this to my collection. This one's branded with Brunel's. $11 online if you want to look for it. It's an aluminum magazine. I painted it black. It's normally that lighter gray that you see up top. It's reliable, shoots fine. Great magazine for a low price. Next up, one of my favorites because I bought many of them. This is the Palmetto State Armory D&H magazine. You can look at the website right now, Palmetto State Armory. You'll see D&H magazines. They're aluminum mags for $7.99. I repeat, $7.99 is a fantastic deal for this 30-round AR-15 magazine. They're black color, aluminum, reliable. It's perfect for you, perfect for the collection. Feeds well in the gun. It looks nice. I like that shiny look. Can't go wrong with the deal. Next up, Elander. Elander came up with these steel mags. They're kind of heavier than the other magazines, obviously, because of the material. It's a little more shiny than the other black magazine, but it's fine. I looked online, and it's probably around $12 to $16 between different sites you get it from or try to get it from. I can't remember where I bought it from. but it's reliable as well. I think my only problem, my problem with it was unloading it. So it's not that the spring is too stiff, but it's just the way that the metal hits up against the round is kind of tough to unload the mags, opposed to this one slides right out and the other one didn't really slide out. Other than that, it performs well and it's reliable. It's in my collection. I have a few of these, so consider these E-Lander magazines if you run across them. Like I said, $12 to $16 is what I've seen them around for. And the old trusty dusty steel GI mags. This one is branded Center Industries. You can look online now for $10. You can find them, or you can go to your local gun shows and they may have these in bins for $5. I always grab some of these when I go to gun shows because I know they're usually reliable. I know they won't give me much issues, and I can trust them. And granted, $5, that's not too much of a loss if the magazines don't work. So stockpile some of these. Stockpile some of these. These are my 10 or 11 different brands of magazines that I own. Your choice. Pick which one you want. Go to the store, do your research. If you see them there, you know that this one works, this one works, this one works, this one works, and so forth. But these two are the no-goes. So if you run across these two, CACD mag and these Pro Mag drums, say walk past them, but say yes to these other 9. So I hope you enjoy this. Hope you get some clarity. Hope you get some insight on some magazines while you're doing your compiling of mags. And these are reliable, trusted dusty ones, polymer and steel and aluminum. Continue to stockpile, continue to save, continue to buy. Hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a good evening.